Today we will learn how to create a beautiful diagram that looks like this. This is a 5-step process. On a click, I draw the viewer's attention to the first step in the process. I finish my explanation. Then I move the attention to step 2, then to step 3, then to step 4, and finally to step 5. Isn't this beautiful? I'll show you how to create this diagram from scratch. I'm Ramgopal from presentationprocess.com. We share creative PowerPoint ideas to help professionals like you create engaging presentations. We will break the diagram creation process into small steps so you can follow along quite easily. Here I am on a new slide. The first thing I'm going to do is to create this platform that shows 5 steps. For that, the first thing I'm going to do is to pick up a rectangle tool and draw a rectangle like so. Now we are going to create 4 more copies of this and place them along one next to the other. So let me select this, press Ctrl D and then place this right next to the previous one. Now I can keep hitting Ctrl D over and over again. Now we have got 5 boxes that look like this. Now I'm going to move everything down here and then let us give each of these boxes a different color. The next step is to group them all together. So let me select everything and press Ctrl G, which is the shortcut for group. Now let us give this a 3D perspective. So I'm going to right click on this, go to Format Shape, go to Effects option, go to 3D Rotation, and here we have presets. The one that I want is under Perspective, and this is the one that I'm going to select, called Perspective Relaxed. Now you can see that this group of boxes look like a carpet laid on the floor. I'm going to make this even more interesting by adding some perspective. So let me go to Perspective here and let me increase the perspective all the way to the maximum, which is 120 degrees. Now can you see here? It looks really interesting. Now I'm going to hold the Shift button down and I'm going to reduce the size ever so slightly so that it is manageable. Now I'm going to place this right in the center. So let us go to Align and say Align Center. Now everything is proper. Now the next step is to add a few rectangular boxes where we are going to place the name of the subtitle. So let us go to the rectangle tool once again and then draw a rectangle so that it corresponds with the bottom edge of the first shape here. Once that is done, we need to make multiple copies so that we have this shape available under each of these shapes. So let me press Ctrl D, which is the shortcut for duplicate, and I'm going to place this right next to the previous one. Now let me hit Ctrl D again. Now let me colorize each of these shapes. So let me select the first one and give it a darker hue of the orange color that we chose earlier. Let us do this for the second one where we choose a darker hue of the teal color. The next step is to write our labels for each of the steps and then the corresponding explanation. It's a fairly simple process, so I'm not going to waste your time showing you how to add these text boxes. So let me paste those text boxes. Now we have got our carpet and we have the 5 steps laid out quite nicely. The next step is to draw the viewer's attention to each of those steps. For that, I'm going to use a 3D ball. A 3D ball or a sphere is quite easy to create. I've made a separate tutorial on this and I will leave a link to that tutorial here in the iCard. Now once we have the 3D sphere, the first step is to introduce the sphere onto the scene. So I'm going to use a simple fly-in animation and it is going to fly in from top, and I'm going to add a bit of bounce so we can have a bit of drama here. So let me go to Animation pane and here let me click on the drop down menu, go to Effect options and add bounce end. Draw it somewhere to the center, that should be good enough, and I'm going to say OK. So you can see that the ball is dropping on the carpet with a bit of drama. Now right after this ball enters the scene, we need to have the explanation regarding step 1. So I've created a group of the title and the explanation. You can see that this is the group here. Now we are going to have that wipe in. So let us go to wipe and say this needs to wipe from top, and this happens right after the previous animation. The next step is to draw the viewer's attention from the first step to the second one. So I'm going to add another animation. So let us select the ball, go to add animation, and I'm going to choose motion paths, lines, and I'm going to use the right motion path. You can see that it is going all the way here. Let me select that, hold the shift button down and make it land somewhere in the center. Now that's a beautiful one. We are going to reduce the duration to somewhere around 1 second, and let us add a bit of bounce here as well so that it looks interesting. And right after it reaches the second step, we need to have the explanation regarding the second step. So we have got the group, and let us say wipe, and this happens from top. And this needs to happen after previous. And then we are going to move the ball from second step to the third step. So let us select the ball once again. Go to add animation. Once again go to motion paths and then say right animation. Now you see that this is the end point. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to hold the shift button and move it ever so slightly. So this is the end point. Now this ball needs to start its animation not from here but from here, because the previous animation ends here. So I'm going to click on this green dot and then move it so that it corresponds with the previous end point of the animation. Once again, let us have this for 1 second. And once again, we are going to add that bounce effect. And you know what to do. Right after that, we are going to have this wipe down. So let us have this wipe from top, and this happens after previous. Now let us go to slideshow and see what we have done so far. You can see that we have got this carpet in place. On a click, the fly-in animation happens, and then step 1 is shown. Then on a click, the movement happens with motion path animation, and then step 2 is revealed. Then to step 3, and then the details are revealed. So you continue the process for step 4 and step 5 to complete the diagram. Once you learn how to create this base diagram, you can have 3 steps, 6 steps, 7 steps. You can customize this diagram just the way you want it. Now the smartest way to use this diagram is to create a template of it and then keep using it over and over again so you can save a lot of time. Templates can save time and give a professional look and feel to your slide deck. Let me show you 3 creative example templates taken from our comprehensive all-in-one PowerPoint bundle version 2.0. Here we show 5 project phases. You can see the 5 phases shown like this. On a click, we draw the viewer's attention to phase 1, then on a click to phase 2, then phase 3, phase 4 and phase 5. It is the same basic idea, but then the layout is slightly different. Let us see the next example. Here we show 5-step process like this, where a hand comes and draws the line and the first step. Then we show the second step like this, the third step, the fourth one and the fifth one. Slides like this will leave your audience spellbound. There is no way that your audience can take their eyes off your slide deck when you present with such beautiful diagrams. Let me show you the final example. Here we show the 5-step process with icons. On a click, we show the first one, then we show the second one, it leads to the third one, it leads to fourth and the final one. These are just a few examples taken from our comprehensive all-in-one PowerPoint bundle. You can find more details about this product by clicking on the link in the description box below the video. By the way, did you like this tutorial? If you did, then you will really love this other tutorial that we have created that shows you how to use creative custom animation to take your slides to the next level. So click on the link and watch the tutorial right away.